I always kept everything on the inside. And that was just like something that came from it. You know, I was like dealing with all this stuff. And then, so I was using escapes like to run away from it. But I didn't know that at the time. And that's like how like it developed.
You are now tuning in to the Relentless Project. Real people, real stories, real life.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Relentless Project. Real people, real stories, real fucking life. As we finishing up the second week of 2026, everyone's talking about New Year's resolutions. But for my guest today, discipline wasn't a resolution. It was survival. She is a walking contradiction in the best way possible. By day, she is a high school special education teacher. By night, she's a Jiu Jitsu practitioner and avid lifter who thrives on controlled aggression. But the resume goes deeper. She's blind in one eye. She is 6 years clean from alcohol, and for a quarter of a century until she was 25 years old, she carried the weight of a severe childhood trauma in total silence. She proves that the things meant to break us can actually become our armor if we learn how to carry them. She has channeled an addictive personality into independence, sobriety, and strength. Erica Amoroso, welcome to the Relentless Project.
Thank you.
How does it feel to like hear someone read something about yourself?
It's weird.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's super weird.
Like I always feel weird doing it because when it's done to me, I'm like, oh. But all that's true.
It is true.
It's true.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
And it speaks a lot to who you are as a person. So when someone asks, who is Erica Amoroso, how do you answer that? Or how do you want to answer that versus how does it come out?
I don't know. I feel like I usually just look at them. I'm like, oh, it's me. I don't know.
I am she.
Yeah.
Do you know that your last name has a meaning or something? Do you know anything about that?
Did you look it up?
No. Well, so in Spanish, it's a meaning. So I looked into it to see if it was like maybe like from a different place, but it's a Latin derivative of the same thing it means in Spanish.
What's it mean?
In like a tender or loving manner.
That's interesting.
Is it? You seem very bubbly, but then you get on the mats and you're like very aggressive.
Yeah.
I saw your last match. I'm like, damn. But yeah, in a tender or loving manner. Does that apply?
Not really.
Watch out, folks.
Yeah, maybe. Like, I'm definitely not. I don't come off as that type of person, though.
I don't know. Like, I think I've heard you say 5 words before today. So maybe she's
Pretty
like
accurate.
mysterious in the shadows.
Could be.
Are you originally from the Pittsburgh area?
Yeah, not far. I grew up in Belle Vernon, like about an hour south of Pittsburgh.
Heard of her. Never been there though. Is it
It's
like
not
small, big.
Like medium size. It's growing now, but it's more like I grew up in the country, like on a lot of land. So it's definitely way different from the city.
I would say. Is it? You said it's growing, but is it still mainly like vast open areas? Like how is it growing up in that and then now being in the city?
For sure. I feel like now, like whenever I go home, they're like just constantly building like huge housing complexes.
And Dollar Generals.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
At one point in one of the neighborhoods, they had like protests. Like they had signs out. They were like, don't build any more Dollar Generals.
Get off my land.
But so I feel like it's not as much, but my parents live like on back roads, like all the way in the back. So theirs is still very like country. Like when I go home, I'm like, oh, this feels right. But it's definitely like so much different. It took me forever when I moved out here to get used to it, like all the traffic and shit.
Still hate
like
it. I still hate Pittsburgh traffic.
For sure.
It's like you come off the exit and you have 100 feet to go through 4 lanes and get to the exit to the left. I'm like, this don't make... Whoever designed this hated people.
Yeah, I agree.
He's like, how can we make extreme conflict?
Yeah, and then like, just like all your neighbors are on top of you everywhere you go. Like I was like, had no neighbors growing up, so...
Yeah, like that's a whole different mindset. Like growing up in the city and I grew up in a small city, but have family in Puerto Rico that is all countryside. So like I feel like I've between traveling and I experienced the best of both worlds. Mm-hmm. And like I love city life, but I love going home to nothing around me.
Yeah.
But I want things close by in case I got to go get a snack or something. Like
it's nice.
It doesn't make sense, I guess, but there's no place like that. I guess if you live in North Hills or the South Hills, far enough, you kind of get the both. Mm-hmm. But so you train jiu-jitsu, and I learned. We got to check her resume. She got a blue belt in like 6 months. But I watched her compete. It vibes, so I don't who the fuck am I? But no, that's very impressive. That's cool. Jiu-jitsu, you're a teacher. Mm-hmm. I think you're my first teacher on the podcast.
Cool. Yeah.
So I got some questions.
All right, I'm ready.
I had some experiences with teachers. I think they lied to me according to our previous conversation.
I feel like I'm a pretty cool teacher. I don't know.
Like that's the thing.
Laid back.
I bet they all think they're cool. But like when you're 10-year-old little Johnny, like the teacher's not cool.
Not cool.
Right? Because I think I'm super cool. And I just found out to kids that I'm like other kids I'm cool. To my own, I'm not cool. Which is crazy. She said I got no aura. Like, come on. She's obviously mistaken.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so one thing I want to talk about is what shapes what just shaped you, right? We spoke about a childhood trauma you went through, and it took 25, I don't want to say it took 25 years, but that's a long silence.
It is.
What gave you the momentum to finally speak out? Because I feel there's a lot of people who have gone through stuff, and maybe they're in the moment where they do I say something? Oh, it's been so long. It's like maybe I shouldn't say anything, or what's the point of saying anything? Like, what guided you to say something, and how did you feel after you actually exposed it, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah. So I think, like you said, it had been so long, and that was never me, like speaking out or talking about myself. Like I never did any of that. And I just kind of went about my life. Like I was like, I can deal with this. I'm my own person. Like I'm independent. And then eventually, what's really crazy is what pushed it was training here and joining Stout and being surrounded by the people that I've built the relationships with. And it's even cooler because they didn't know it. Like they didn't know that they were helping me in that way. And honestly, they probably won't know until they listen to this, which is super cool. So
that is cool. Now they all have to listen if they want to see what you mean to them.
Yeah,
or what they
for
mean
sure.
to you.
And it just kind of like being surrounded by other people who have, gone through a lot of shit in life, and just kind of working through everything and having all that discipline. It like, I was like at that point, like involved in like not a great relationship, and just like I was not happy, and I was like just kind of like going through the motions in life. And then it Stout, like every time I would go there, I was like all these people, like they're so cool, these people support me, these people have my back, like these people love me, and they showed me like what it's like to be happy and like to have fun and to like truly love life. And I was like still just like hiding deep down all of these things, and it just like pushed me to the edge to just like let it out. And once I did, I was like, oh shit, like
this is what it feels like.
Yeah, like, I was like, dang. And it didn't even have to be to like everyone. Like it wasn't like that. Like I didn't tell everyone. I haven't told like hundreds of people or anything like that, but it just like
told who you need to tell.
Right. And once it was out, I was like, oh, it doesn't really bother me anymore. Like, and now like even coming on here and being able to just say it and talk about like, oh yeah, something happened, was something I never would have been able to do before. So it definitely just like having those people in my corner and just knowing that like other people go through things in life too. It was cool.
Yeah, I've always said it's important to have a good circle, not a big circle, right? Because a lot of things come with that, but a good circle. If it happens to be big, great, you're blessed. Stout is a very big circle.
For sure.
Very,
yes.
Very big. Great people, man. I'll admit, I've been slacking in jiu-jitsu. I've been doing 1,000 other things, and I know that's a typical excuse. but every time I go back, it's like I never left. It's like I never left. You know, I just announced that the stout fights, first time doing that was nerve wracking. But I like doing new things, right? So when I got asked to do that, I was like, you want me to? I've never done that. And they're like, oh, you do great with like post fight interviews. I'm like, yeah, but I can like compose myself, gather information. That's what I'm doing, gather information, learning about the fighter, and then when they come out, I'm already prepared. Like I'm going as fast as this match is going. Mm-hmm. And then I got to go out there and talk to them. They're winded. How many times? I mean, everyone's like trying to catch their breath, and I'm like,
I think I said like 2 words. Yeah. I was like backing away from the microphone.
You're like hyperventilating. I'm like, hey, you just went balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And here I am stuffing a microphone, like, answer my questions. But I don't know where I was going with that. See what I mean? That's why this helps. But it was the first time doing it.
An opportunity.
An opportunity. And everyone there was just like, I never left.
Yeah.
You know, the last time I was in the gym was months ago to train. Mike always, I'm gonna expose Mike right now because Mike likes to sniff me during the, ask him about this. He'll tell you during fights, he likes to smell me because he likes my cologne.
Smell good, I guess.
And he'll just come up, what are you wearing? I'm like, if anyone just watched that, there's some questions. There's some questions. I ain't gonna say nothing because Mike is Mike. But I don't mind when he smells me. Wink, wink. Keep it going. Now, what is it about the community that you surrounded yourself by that comforted you? Because you said they didn't know. They didn't need to know. But something in you, I guess, something came that you felt comfortable enough to share this. Mm-hmm. How can other people who may not have that community, like what advice would you have to them into being able to express what they need to say?
I feel like all my life, like, you know, through high school, through college, like I was pretty crazy. Like I was wild and everybody like, I was cool, right? Like I had a lot of friends.
You're
yeah,
like
I know. I know. It's different. But I like had all these friends, right? But it was like something I like eventually like came to and thought about was like, I was like this standout, like one of like the popular people, like, so you could say, but all those people like weren't really my friends, right? Like once it came down to it and you think about it, like how many of these people, like if something happened and you died tomorrow, like how many of these people actually give a fuck about you? And in that sense, it was like not a lot, right? Like it was like, oh yeah, I go out and party with these people and like do all this crazy shit and have fun. But like those people weren't really there for me and those people weren't really my friends. And, you know, I'm not like, I still have like one good friend from college and that's cool. But outside of that, like I was like, had hundreds of friends and none of them were real. And then I feel like I came here and right, like at this point, then I was like quiet and like kind of to myself. And I moved here with like, I didn't have anybody. Like I had no friends when I moved out here, like nobody close to me. And just like quickly, like Mike, Brittany, Claire, some of the people at Zealy, like Andrew Dwyer, and they just like took me in. And I was like, wow, like these people really care about me. And they would like, you know, like call me all the time, invite me places, texting me, like showing up at my matches. One of the first times I ever competed with Stout, I'm at the freaking Arnold Classic and nobody like knows me yet, right? Like
that was your first competition.
Yeah, the Arnold Classic. And they like, my matches were the last freaking matches. Like my bracket didn't start till like 7 p.m. And by the time my matches come around, I make it to the finals and it's like 9 o'clock at night, like 10 o'clock. Everybody had been there since like, I don't even know, like it starts at like 7 in the morning.
Yeah, they're all gone or at the expo
right.
or.
And then I have these people like who stayed, like they've been done for hours and they stayed only for me, like just to watch my match, just to support me, just to coach me and be in my corner. And I was like, they barely even know me. And I was like, that's like more of a team than I've ever had. Like that's more of a family than I've ever had. And I was like, wow, these people care about me. And then Claire and Brittany like took me in and like I was like one of their sisters. And I was like, dang, like these people they just care about me. And they would like all the time, just like always checking in on me. If they didn't see me, they knew like something was wrong. And it's just something that I've never had before. And I was like, if I died tomorrow, these people actually give a fuck about me and these people would care about me. And it was just, it made a difference. It was just something that I had never really experienced before.
That's awesome. That's all. And I felt that. I've told this story before. Years ago when I started to get into jiu-jitsu, I visited a few gyms. And the one gym I went to, I was like, if this is jiu-jitsu, like this sucks. This like I hate it. I hate the people, I hate the culture. And then I go to Stout, which was like 10 times the size of this gym. So obviously I'm like nervous, but I'm a cop, right? I can't be nervous. So I'm walking in, I'm like, man, hey, dude, like I deal with people who try to fucking kill me every day. Like I have to go through with this. And I was like a couple minutes late, and I think Logan was at the front. And he's like, oh yeah, well, just hop in there. Like we'll talk after. And I'm like, okay. I go to the edge of the mat, and I'm just staring. There's a circle, and everyone's in robes, and I'm in like gym clothes. I'm like, I'm out of place. He's like, hey, no, you're fine. He literally he sees me standing there. He's like, no, you're fine. Go sit in the circle. Just jump right in. And if you have any questions, ask the coach. I'm like, okay. Cool. Walk right over. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey. He stops. I forget who was teaching. I want to say it was Mike's fucking crazy ass, actually. I think it was Mike. But anyway, whoever's teaching is teaching, stops, like acknowledges me. I sit down and we just go into it. And I'm like, okay. And then we get paired up and you have to switch groups, right? I'm like trying to find the smallest guy because this is the first time I'm doing this and I don't want to, right? So I pick a girl.
That's so funny.
Did it?
I feel like that doesn't happen.
Guy. I did it. I was that guy. Actually, it was a big guy and a girl left. And me and the girl kind of like looked at each other. And I'm like, and she did it. I'm like, oh, cool. All right. Easy first round. Boy, was I mistaken. And if she didn't try to kill me, I probably wouldn't have stuck with jiu-jitsu. Like,
that's crazy. I love that.
She was wrapping around me. I'm like standing, right? I'm holding her. I'm like, oh, I'm getting really tired. Then I get on my knees. I'm popping one arm out. The other one's coming in. I'm like, she is like a backpack. And I'm like, okay, I'll lay on my side so that I don't have to carry her weight. And then that was the worst thing, obviously, because then what happens? She's like completely on your back. And then you end up on your stomach and you're just, yeah. It was a bad experience for me. Yeah, bad experience for me.
But it sounds like it was a good one.
It was great, right? Because we finished, right? And I'm so embarrassed, right? Men and egos. And she's like, hey, like, is it your first time? Can you imagine if it wasn't, asking someone that question?
You'd never come back.
I'm like, actually, it is. She's like, oh, well, okay. And then I'm like, how long you been doing that? She said like years. I'm like, that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't feel bad anymore. That's what it is.
Cool, yeah.
Cool.
But no, she was super cool. And then we switched partners, and everyone was like super cool with, like, if she wanted to choke me out, she could have. She was allowing me to work at the ability I was at. Mm-hmm. You know, and later, now that more years of experience, I realized like there's good jiu-jitsu partners and bad jiu-jitsu partners.
There is.
The good ones will push you to a point to force you to kind of like push yourself and learn new things. And other ones will just steamroll you, and then that's it. There's nothing there.
Sit on you.
And there's a time and place for that. But when you're trying to learn, like,
right.
What am I getting?
Yeah.
So definitely found a community and Stout myself, man. Like, I've had just about damn near everyone on the podcast.
Yeah.
Mike, Will, Andy, Claire, other Will, Lucas,
Brittany,
can't forget
For
Brittany.
Sure.
Yeah.
All of them.
I've had a lot of them. Andy. I mean, I had the man himself. I had Warren on.
That's great. Funny story about Logan. You were talking about Logan. My first day ever at Stout, Logan was the one teaching. And so I had previously, been visiting gyms, like you said, like finding the one that you like. And I was at a gym for a little bit, a few months before, and you had to you know, and like every gym has their own thing. And it was like one of the ones where you like bow in and stuff like that. And like, you know, you have to wait on the side of the mat if you're late and be invited on the mat and stuff like that, right? Like, you know, other places have their own thing.
Have their own thing.
And I thought that's just how it was, because that was like at the time the only gym that I had been to, right? And like they always did that. And so I come into Stout and I can't remember who was working the front desk, but they're like, oh, let me give you a tour, like whatever. Like, so like gave me a tour and the class had already started. And I'm like, shit, like I'm late. Like I'm going to have to sit on the side of the mat, like not again. And so I'm like waiting on the side of the mat in class, and whoever it was like, yeah, cool, like you're good to go. And so I'm waiting on the side of the mat like this, and Logan's teaching the class, and he like, I see him like looking over at me like, what the hell is that girl doing, right? Like,
she watching?
Yeah, like she's being weird. And he like eventually comes walking over and he's like, hey, like, you know, are you want to do the class? Like, you know, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, am I allowed to come on the mats? And he was like, don't do that. And he was like, we don't do that.
Yeah, don't be that.
We don't do that here. Just get on. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, all right, my bad.
And yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Like there's none of the extra. I call it the extras. I don't knock it because some people argue tradition and all that stuff. But like I'm there to learn and train. Like I'm not so much there for the tradition. That comes with the passion after you learn all that. But I learned that after. So I thought gyms were like this, like Stout. You know, so now I cross train and stuff, and I'm like learning stuff. Like I see everyone bowing. I'm like, I'm not gonna. I was in one. I forget. It was a school out in Ohio where they did the whole looking at the poster thing, and I'm like, that's enough for me. Like class is over. Like I'm not gonna disrespect what you guys do, so I'm just gonna step back. But like,
for sure,
not for me.
There's a lot of differences.
There is. What got you into Jiu Jitsu? Like, what was the thing that got you into Stout?
So I feel like I always have been, like, I've always played sports, like, all my life. Like, that was, like, all that I did growing up, you know, since I was, like, 3 years old up until all through college. I played sports. I was very active.
What was your sport? Softball?
I played softball through college. I was a swimmer.
Because I stalked you on the internet.
That's okay. Yeah, softball was my main sport, but I ran cross country for 2 years in college too. I was a swimmer. I was really, I played tennis a little bit. Yeah, I just like had to stay busy all the time.
And Jane of all trades. Sports
were like where it was at. I loved it. And I eventually, like after college, I was like, I was crazy. I was like losing my mind. I lifted a lot. I went to the gym. I like started doing things like powerlifting, bodybuilding, all that shit. And it was like not the same. And I was like, I don't know. I'm like losing my mind. I'm crazy. I'm spending like 4 hours a day in the gym. I need to find something to do. And I came just like across a different, so it was called Sacrifice Jiu Jitsu and RIP Academy. It's close to Bell Vernon, like where I grew up. And it's just like a very small gym. And I came across that gym one day and I just like walked in, and his name is Fong. He's a brown belt at High Ground, and he was there working, and he was like, oh, cool. Let me just like tell you about it, give you a tour. He was like, have you ever been, like, you know what this is? And I was like, no, not a clue. Like, I'm just stopping it.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, well, like we do jujitsu, like kickboxing, whatever. And I'm like, whatever all that is, cool. Like, I was like, sign me up. This place is sick. Like, I was like, the gym looks cool. And he's like, all right, classes, whenever. And I just like kind of started showing up a little bit. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm just like getting my ass beat. I don't know what's going on. Like
typical
everybody's kind of,
yeah.
And I was just like, whatever. I was like, I kind of like it. Like,
this hurts.
And
Great.
I just started coming. And I went on a Friday night, and it was weird. It was so different. This guy is there teaching. At the time, I have no clue who he is, right? He only teaches there on Fridays. I know nothing about him. I just hear he's like supposed to be really good. And I was like, oh, cool, whatever. I go on a Friday. Not Friday night, actually, Friday at noon. He had a noon class. And his name is Jake Lowry. And I'm sure, you know, lots of people know him, and he's not just some random guy anymore.
Lowry.
And I show up, and he immediately was like intimidating. Like, he was way different than those other coaches that had been there. And I was like, I'm kind of scared. Like, his class like immediately like started off with it, like, and it was hard. And I was like, we don't do this usually. Like,
This is
and
something
we're-
different.
And we're like doing this hand fighting thing. And I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like going like this, like, and he's like, oh, you got to get in there, like not like that. And I'm like, what? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I was like, this is crazy. Like, and I was like, I suck. Like, I'm so out of place. He's looking at me like I'm an idiot. Like, he's like, this girl.
He's like super nice though. It's so crazy.
And eventually, like, the class ends, and I'm like, damn, maybe this, like, isn't for me. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I looked real stupid today. And he's like, oh, like, cool. Like, hope you come back. And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I leave, and I'm, like, thinking about it. And he has another class at 6 p.m. that night. And I was like, I'm going to go back. And I walk in at 6, and his, like, head turns when the door opens. And he's like, nobody ever comes to the 6 p.m. class. And I was like, oh, like, what, you want me to go? Like, I could just leave.
You just challenged him. He said, you think this is easy?
Yeah, I was like, should I go? Like, I was like, all right, maybe not. And he's like, oh no, this is great. Like, cool. Like, I'm always just sitting here waiting for someone to show up, and nobody ever does. And I was like, okay. And from then on, like, he's like the whole reason that I got started. Like, I would go every Friday, like, and it would just be me and him, like, pretty much privates. And
Privates,
he, like,
yeah.
teaching me wrestling. Like, I started to, like, pick up on a couple things. And like you said, like, he's just a super nice guy. And he wanted me to do well. He was like, oh, you should start competing. Like, and I was like, I don't know about that. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it was maybe like 2 months in, and he was like, you should just do it. And I was like, all right, whatever. He, like, convinced me to sign up for this random tournament. I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't even know any submissions yet. Like,
Ain't that the worst? You're like,
Yeah,
well, just fight for my life the entire time.
and
Cool.
then I won. Just, like, sat on top of this girl the whole time. Like, it was like, but yeah, and he was just, like, so helpful. And I was like, oh yeah, I like this. Like, and I was like, I'm into it. And he was, like, always pushing me, like, to be better, even though I still sucked at that time. And he was, like, telling me his story. And I was like, wow, he's, like, super inspiring. And, you know, he's a pro MMA fighter. Like, it's crazy. And eventually, like, he was just like, you really love this. Like, you need to find a good gym and good training partners that are going to work for you. And obviously he, you know, is like, check out the Met Factory, like, check out Stout, check out all these places. And I was moving at the time. So I just, like, started checking out all these places, and, you know, just really found my home at Stout. And I definitely, like, dedicated to him. And I still, you know, work with him, still train with him, still do privates with him. And he'll come and coach me and always has my back and things like that. So it's great.
How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
So it's been a little over 2 years. I started at Stout about exactly 2 years ago. And before that, I had trained with Jake for a couple months before that. I think maybe like 3 months with him before
That's
that.
impressive.
Thank you.
How often do you train? Actually, that's a good question.
Oh, yeah.
How often do you train?
I'm a psycho. Now, I train 7 days a week now. I'm nuts now. I have
eyes
like a
lit up. She
problem.
said, "How many days?
Yeah.
Or how many sessions
I'm
a day?"
addicted for sure.
I'm glad you said that, because you mentioned to me this addictive personality, right?
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it's with jiu-jitsu. Some may argue it's not healthy with jiu-jitsu, but it's a healthy avenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're learning, you're doing fitness and all that. How does that work for you? Because you mentioned being 6 years clean of alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
which is a feat on its own. You know, so this addictive personality, which I have too, when I find something and I sink my teeth into it, it's a problem. Like I like the other day with the podcast, I was up to like 4 a.m., 3 a.m. And I'm like, I should probably sleep. Why am I should probably sleep. This is here tomorrow. Like, it's easy to just go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's...
So that's why you're 2 years, but every day.
Right. Yeah.
Two times a day.
Right. When I can. Absolutely. Yeah. It's, you know, I kind of thought it was like a secret. Like, I was like, you know, I thought I like hit it well. And it was funny. We were just at Worlds in Vegas not long ago. And I don't remember what we were talking about, but Wilkins, Claire, and I stayed together and we're talking about something. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, like I've gone through college and gone through like the psych field and stuff too. I have an undergrad in psychology, so I'm like real into that kind of stuff too. And I've like done some testing and just like all kinds of stuff. And I was like, yeah, like they've always like saying that I have a severe addictive personality disorder. And I was like, oh, disorder, whatever. Like, nah, like it's just like, you just get addicted to things, whatever. And I like told them that, and Wilkins was like, duh. Claire like starts laughing, obviously. And I was like, wait, I thought people didn't know. Like, I thought it was a
How did you know? They
Yeah.
told you that's a HIPAA violation. Who told you that?
I was like, oh. And they were like, you're crazy. Like, they were like, they have to convince me like to take a day off. Like I'll get hurt and they'll be like, don't come here. Or they'll be like, go sit on the side. Like, and I'm like, no, like I can't do that. Like I wanted to get this a new tattoo on my foot. And Mike's like, I was like, I can't though, because that like spot I can't cover during jiu-jitsu. Like, and Mike's like, just take a week off, 5 days. And I was like, no. I was like, why would I do that? I
can just move the tattoo.
Yeah, like it's like I don't know. I feel like this is a healthy one, right? Like same with like I used to lift and I still do, and those are like healthy. So people say like healthy addictions, like. But the problem that I have is that like there's that line that a healthy one can become unhealthy. And I feel like I've gone through the phases of like crossing those lines. I'm pretty good about it now. Like, now like getting injured, I can like take a day or two off and like be okay. But when I first started, like I was like, no, like you're crossing that line of like hurting yourself worse and stuff like that. And same with like lifting. I used to do like bodybuilding and stuff, and that's become super unhealthy. And it's like when you cross that line of when it's unhealthy, of like I would go through any measure like to get there, put your body through so much stuff, like your unhealthy weights, like not eating way too much, like things like that. So it's like balancing that and like finding the fine line. And I feel like I've done that now, especially with jiu-jitsu. Like I can still be addicted to it and do it every day and love it. But I know. And I have people to tell me like when I need to chill out or something like that.
I only train 6 days a week now. Yeah. Only 2 times a day.
For sure.
How do you know when you're getting to that line with something? Like with jiu-jitsu, you said you've kind of figured it out. Mm-hmm. But this can translate to a lot of things, right? So like how do you know you're like riding that line of, man, this is healthy and it has the potential to become now unhealthy? Or do you not view it like that? I'm trying to pick your brain here.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's just something that I've always, like, I know whenever I start, like, going, like, I'm like, oh, I'm addicted to this. Like, I'm in. Like, I'm all in. And I feel like I could just take a step back now and just think about it and be like, okay, like, where am I at? Like, is this going to be bad for me or is this going to be good for me? And, like, going like to the alcohol thing, like that always was like I was fine until it wasn't fine, right? But like at that point I was young and I didn't have that ability to take a step back and look at things. Like it was just like all fine to me until it wasn't. So I just think now like maybe like, maturing a little bit and like experiencing life and knowing, being a little bit smarter and being able to like view things has helped me to like see where I'm at. Was
this always a thing, or was this something that was developed? Like, do you remember being a kid and I'll say addictive because I don't know another word.
Right.
I don't want people to think it's like a addiction. Like,
yeah, no.
But like that, it is addictive. Like
it is.
Did you notice that as in your younger years, or is that something you developed?
I think it's something I developed. Just kind of like with the stuff that I went through. And then I kind of like lived in my own bubble then at that point because I was like, I always kept everything on the inside. And that was just like something that came from it. I was like dealing with all this stuff. And then, so I was using escapes like to run away from it. But I didn't know that at the time. And that's like how like it developed. Like in college, I started drinking, and actually before college, I guess, I started drinking, and that became the addiction. And I was using that as my escape. I was using that to run away from like what I was holding on the inside. And
which a lot of people do.
for sure. And that, you know, like that's super unhealthy. And the same, like when I would start lifting, right, and start like working out, like that was an escape to me. And like it became an addiction. And I think it just developed from that. I don't think as like a super young child, that I remember at least, and I don't ever like hear my parents telling stories about me like doing crazy things like that when I was a kid. So I definitely think it just like developed from things like that.
Do you think this was something you kind of, I guess, touched on it, but like, do you think this is something that developed from what you went through, and then these were channels you were using?
Yes,
so
for
then,
sure.
What made you? How did you make the decision to just cut alcohol? Which is what people may not realize is alcohol is one of the things that if you just cold turkey, if you have an extreme addiction and you cut it, you can die. Not a lot of people know that. Mm-hmm. And I hope I'm not exaggerating that, but
no, it's true.
I've seen alcohol addiction, obviously in my line of work, and it can be ugly.
It's scary for sure.
And you made the decision on your own, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yes, absolutely.
Something didn't happen that you were like, wow, or I don't know.
I wouldn't say like it wasn't like a specific event, but part of it is that like I tell people, and this is kind of wild, but like I never liked alcohol. Like, I don't think alcohol is good. Like, drink a beer. Like, I don't think beer is good. It doesn't taste good. And of course, I'm young. I was drinking shitty alcohol, right? Like,
not even the good stuff.
I took vodka out of the bottle, like Nikolai, like New Amsterdam. It's not good.
You're gonna offend some people. This is like this is their stuff. They're like, hey, what's wrong with what's the
it's disgusting.
One in the plastic bottle? It's usually at the bottom shelf.
Oh, Vladdy, yeah.
Hey, don't talk about my Vlad.
It's like, you can't tell me that you drink that and you're like, oh, this tastes good. Like, people say, yeah, like it's an acquired taste, right? Like, and that's how people start liking it, I guess. But honestly, like I don't think alcohol tastes good.
You make a point.
It's gross.
Because like I love tequila, but I love tequila for what it is, right? Like if I had a Sprite and a tequila and someone's like, which one tastes better? I'm not picking tequila.
Right.
I'm also addicted to Sprite. So there's bias there, but it doesn't taste good.
No,
you're right.
It doesn't. And you like drink, you're throwing back shots, and you're like people are like gagging. Like,
good stuff.
Like,
good stuff.
It does not taste good. And I always I always said that, like, I was like, this shit is gross. Like, but I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm gonna hammer this. And I never liked alcohol. Like, but like kind of like you said, like you like it for what it is. I liked it for like what it did for me, right? It like brought me out of my bubble, right? Like I was like severely social, like didn't talk to anybody, like super shy, super quiet. Like I like couldn't handle social situations. So I'd like get drunk, cool. I'm like the coolest person ever. Everybody loves me, like talking to everybody. So it was like doing that kind of stuff for me. And then it was, it was hiding all the other stuff. And it like, I feel like I was this person who I wasn't. Like, it wasn't really me. And I think I always knew that, right? Like, deep down. But I was loving it, right? Like, I was cool. I was popular. I had all these people. I had all these friends. And it was, like, things I wasn't used to. And I was having fun. Like, I was doing wild shit. I was young. I was living like, I was away at college on my own. And...
She was going to tell a story and change. She's like, I was jumping off of things I should not be jumping off, so I'm not going to tell it.
I'm getting into trouble. Like, I'm doing all this, like, and everybody loved it, right? Like, they're like, people from college will like send me videos, and I'm like, who is that?
See, but like, did they love it? Or like what type of enjoyment were they getting out of it, right? Like, Erica's cool, or like, look what the fuck she was doing, right? Because like I've been on that side, right?
Yeah.
Like college for me was also wild, and I thought I had a lot of friends, and I realized there came a moment where I needed a friend, and magically, no one besides one person was there. Shout out Nico Corba, I always shout him out. He was the first dude who sponsored the podcast. I'm like, you don't have to do that, bro. Like he's a jeweler. I'm like, I love you, bro. I'll put you in there. Because you're my boy and you've done so much for me. He's like, no, I'm going to do it because I believe in what you're... Like, that's the type of dude he is.
That's cool.
One of the only dudes out of college who we're still boys. That's a brother to me.
Yeah. And that's how it is.
Yeah, you're
all
like...
those other people, like, yeah.
Like, what was I doing that for?
Right.
Attention that didn't go anywhere.
Yep. and it was a joke. And like, I think it was a little bit of both. Like they loved it because we were young and stupid, right? Like, and doing dumb stuff was like hilarious. Like that was the thing. I was the funniest one, right? Like everybody would get funny videos and like stuff like that. And I like didn't care. Like somebody wanted to drink, call Erica. Like, oh, want to go out and do something dumb, call Erica. Like, and it was like that. And I think then like I would wake up and be sober, and I was like all back in my head again. Like I was like, oh my God, like I'm so embarrassed. I can't talk to any of these people. Like I would like hide in my room and stuff like that. And so it was like, oh, well, just get drunk again. And like you can see how that progresses pretty quickly and how that becomes a problem.
That's a good point. I feel a lot of people go through that, right? Like they use this as to numb, and then the numbing is gone and you're regretting using it to numb, but the only way to get past that feeling again is to be numb again. And how do you get numb again? So it becomes this repetitive cycle.
Right.
And the irony is we're talking about this in January. What do people do in January? Dry January, right? It's like it's a big thing. Why do people do dry January? Because people want to be healthier. They want to, or they realize it's probably not doing really good for them. So like, I need to take a break from it. And then what comes out in February?
Yep.
Just
right
do
back
it again.
to it. Right back to it.
Dry January is over.
Yeah, for sure.
So take me back to the day, if you can remember, the last drink. And you said, and then because from there, a decision was made that I can't do this anymore.
Yeah. It was, I was a senior. I was a senior in college, in my undergrad. And just like leading up to that, you know, there had been lots of things. I'd gotten myself into all kinds of trouble and things that I shouldn't have been doing. And I'd been in trouble multiple times, you know, and I'd had alcohol poisoning multiple times, been in the hospital, like things like that. And all of that was like stuff that people also didn't know, right? Stuff that I hid from. I mean, everybody knew that I had a problem and that I drank all the time, but we're all young, so they don't care, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's normal.
Who cares?
Unfortunately, in that age,
right? But like from everybody else, like my family and stuff, like nobody knew, and nobody knew I had a problem, and just the people that I was like at school with, and I had like gotten into a pretty like I guess kind of like a situation where I was in pretty bad, and, you know, could have like gotten myself killed, and like I was like all drunk and like acting stupid. And then it was homecoming weekend at my school, and then this other guy who had come back from homecoming we were like cool. He played baseball at the school, whatever, like one of those friends. I remember him saying to me that night while I'm all fucked up, like I was like thrown up, whatever. And he's like, damn, Erica, you're still acting like this. Like, it was funny when you were the freshman and you were the young. Aren't you a senior? Like, you were the young one. You were hilarious. Like, aren't you the senior now? We thought you'd phase out of this by now. And I remember the next morning, I woke up and like thought about everything that happened. I was like in bad and all this trouble. And then like I had remembered him saying that there was so much shit I didn't remember from that night, but I could remember him saying that. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, I hate myself. And I thought, watched all the dumb videos from that night. And then like, I could have almost gotten killed that night. And like people I was with almost got killed that night. And I was like, I hate myself. I was like, I don't even know who I am anymore. And I like took a step back and I just like thought about it. And I was like, I'm never drinking again. And that was the first time I ever said that. Other people, you know how people say that like after a night, like I'm never drinking again. Like I feel like shit. That was the first time I had ever said that. And I was like, and I don't lie. Like if I say something, I'm going to do it. And that was it. Like that was the end of that. Like I was 21 years old. It was the middle of my senior year of college. I was homecoming weekend. Like, and I was on the homecoming court. Like, and I was like, never drinking again. And that was the end of it. I never drank again. You know, I went through withdrawal by myself. I locked myself in my room and it was awful. But it was like, this is what I'm going to do. And I lost like all my friends, right? Like all those people who weren't my friends. Like
Erica's not
she's
fun anymore.
Are you like, they're banging on my door? Like, are you coming out tonight? Like, you know, and I was like, nah, like leave me alone. And then I had like one close friend left, maybe two. And those were like those are the people I still talk to today. And like, those are my real friends. And I was just like, that was it. I never drank again. And now, like, I have no desire. Like, people are like, oh, or like, do you care if I like get a drink? Like, I'll like go out with like Claire, but like Brittany, like, and I'm like, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't have like the urge to do it because I never even liked it. It was all just like a game for me. And now, and I bartended for 5 years, even after I quit drinking, like, and have never had any issues with like drinking again. Like,
That's
I
awesome.
know I'll never do it again.
That's awesome. I just want to take a second to shout out a few companies who've believed in me. These were one of our first official sponsors, so huge shout out. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Carbo Jewelers, established in 1997 on the values of honesty and integrity. Whether you're searching for the perfect piece, need expert repair services, visit Carbo Jewelers in Newark's Ironbound District, where your jewelry is always in safe hands. This episode is also brought to you by Continental Jewelers, proudly serving Hudson County, New Jersey since 1964. Whether you're seeking a timeless piece or need expert repairs, they've got you covered. Visit Continental Jewelers, your trusted source for all things jewelry. You can find them on Instagram at Carbo Jewelers or online at carbojewelers.com. Lastly, big shout out to Carbo Trading. Besides coins, precious metals, and jewelry, if it could be traded and collected, he's probably got it. They can be found on Instagram at carbo.trading. You can find all of our sponsors out online on our sponsor page at therelentlessproject.com. Like, cool. That's rare and awesome because I've heard a lot of stories of people who they will not put themselves in that position because they know they can't, they know they probably can't handle that. And I respect that, right? Like, don't put yourself in a position that is going to compromise you. Right. And you are able to do that, which is rare. That's all. Like, and that's just because you made the decision and stuck to it. It's your addictive personality. You're addicted to saying no now. Yes. Great. Yeah, for sure. I think that helps it. Like, not to make light of the situation, but no, it's true. I wouldn't even call it addiction. I would call it like intense. You're very intense with what you do. So like, if it's Jiu Jitsu, intense. Yeah. If it was drinking, then intense, and then the decision to not drink, intense. So I'll ask this question, which is may come off as corny, but it I think is important. Like, addiction, do you see it as like a curse or a superpower? This addictive personality, because we mentioned one of your good addictions, jiu-jitsu, lifting. Could spiral, definitely, but you found the way to manage it. And then alcohol addiction. I feel like, I mean, for me, I feel like it's been more of a superpower than it has been a curse, because also, like, if I didn't go through if I didn't do all of that, like, it wouldn't have led me to where I am. Like, even though, it was pretty bad at the time, but now it's like, it's definitely like led me to have the discipline that I do now and to be able to do all the things that I do now. But addiction is definitely, for some people in some instances, like it's the worst. It's scary. It definitely is a curse. And that's, it's sad. And I don't wish that upon anybody, but I do think that there are ways that you can figure it out, for sure. How did you mentioned going through sobriety yourself. What were some of the things you found helped you get through it? Because you said no one was there. How many people were like, hey, what's going on? Like, you're not hanging out with us. It's not that you're not drinking with us anymore. You're just not hanging out. Like, are you okay? Like, how many people did that? Honestly, not a whole lot. But there were definitely some people, because I played sports and like people on my team and things like that. And I think part of it was that I closed myself off. Like, I avoided people at all costs. And I think that helped me, because the whole reason that I had been doing all that was like all the social aspects and like to have friends and like not
not be who I was pretty much, like, because I was so shy and so reserved and so quiet, but like alcohol turned me into like this, like a beast, like like the total opposite. And so I kind of like had to take that step back, and I also removed myself from people, right? Like they removed themselves because I wasn't doing all the crazy stuff with them anymore. But I also like shutting people out, right? Like I didn't answer my phone to anybody. Like people knocking on my door, I didn't answer the door. You know, and I didn't let anybody in. Like I didn't tell anybody. And, you know, maybe just like the close 1 or 2 people, I just like told them, I was like, no, I'm not drinking anymore. And I always kept it short, like just kept it real and kept it short. Like this is what it is. And, you know, going through like the whole withdrawal thing really, really sucked. And you're up all night, you're sweating, you're throwing up, like shaking, chills. Like I remember I'd be like showering like 5 times throughout the night because I'd like be drenched in sweat, and then like waking up with the chills. It was crazy. But I think just that, like, I don't like to lie, and I don't like when people lie to me. So that, like, I always tell the truth. And when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And that being in the back of my head, like, meant a lot to me. And I was like, I'm just doing it. And honestly, it was hard as fuck, but it's one of the best things I've ever done.
I mean, they're both hard. Making the decision to go clean or going down the rabbit hole of an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. Mm-hmm. Both are hard.
For sure.
You know, and it's like, which one do you choose? Because you're always making a choice. And I always say, and I know there's people going through a lot of stuff, but I always say, like, if you make the decision to do it, you can make it. You can do it.
Yes.
You just have to make that decision constantly.
I agree.
Right? Like, if you have an addiction to something, I know there's chemicals in your body, and then there's the brain starts to rewire. I know all that stuff happens. But guess what also happens when you make that decision to say no? You're rewiring your brain. Mm-hmm. You know, you're taking that process in anything, not just like you don't want to do the laundry. I'm going to do the laundry. I have to go do it.
Right.
You make that decision. Then you get to the stairs and you're like, I don't want to do it. Well, then you go down the stairs,
right.
Or waking up early for the gym. Your alarm goes off. You can make the decision to snooze it, or you can make the decision to stand up and go brush your teeth.
Yes.
And then it's, let me go drink my water.
It's way easier.
Then it's, let me get in my car. It's small decisions. Mm-hmm. Right? I was having a conversation with my buddy a long time ago. He was like, well, it's easy for you. You like love doing this shit, and you do all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't do all this stuff. Do you think I wake up in the morning, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to cry. No, I'm arguing with myself. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not beautiful. Mm-hmm. I have a mirror right next to my bed. So I literally look at it and I'm like, don't be a bitch. Like, go to the gym.
Yeah.
Go to the gym.
Yeah.
I know you're tired. Just go. You're going to be upset if you sleep in, wake up and skip the gym. Mm-hmm. That's my first fight.
Yes.
Then I'm brushing my teeth. I'm like, well, I can still get an hour and a half of sleep. That's all right. Sleep. That's a nap. Nope.
Right.
Go.
You just got to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. You small decisions.
For sure.
So you mentioned trauma, and for a lot of people, the gym you mentioned that as being an escape as well. How is your relationship with the gym now that you've been able to kind of confront that trauma head on? And I don't know where you're at with that, but like you obviously seem to be in a way better place. So how is your relationship with the gym now and jiu-jitsu now that those aren't escape avenues, those are things you choose to do willingly?
Yeah, that makes a huge difference for sure too. And I seriously, like, most people that know me like know about the sisterhood that I have, and that's Brittany, Claire, and then Mike kind of like reining us all in. He's
Part
the one
of the
that brought it.
sisterhood?
Yeah. Sometimes
Can we say that?
Yeah, he is. Sometimes he says, "You guys know I'm a boy, right?" And we're like, "Oh." We're like, "Oh, yeah, sure."
If you say so.
Okay. He's like, "Is this getting too weird?"
Let me stop, because the next time he sees me, he's about to ball me up.
Yeah, it's he's a part of the sisterhood. He's the leader for sure. And it's kind of like he's like he brought us all together, right? Like that's what's like super important, because he saw I met him and he cornered me at a Naga, like a local Naga. And he was like, he didn't even know me. Like, he just like knew like I'd taken like the fundamentals classes and like nobody was there cornering me. He hops in, like, greatest corner ever, right? I'm like, oh my God, this dude is sick.
He's like a remote control.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's so good. And I was like shaking. Like, I was like, oh my God, it's the Mike Wilkins. Like, he knows me. Like, he's cornering me. Like, this is, and he then like just was like, oh, you should come train with Brittany and Claire. Like, and I was like, really? I was like, me? Like, I'm invited? Like, I was like, I'm a white belt. Like, I can't come to those classes. They're advanced. And he was like, I'm inviting you. He was like, you should come. And they just, like, took me under their wing. Like, it was, like, nothing. Like, joking with me. Like, just constantly, like, being there for me and, like, boosting my confidence and, like, they'd get me to go out into competitions and they'd be watching all the live streams, like texting me, like just giving me advice. And it was just, it's built like such a crazy, and they like were whooping my ass at the same time too, right?
It's a love-love relationship,
right.
really.
But I was just like, wow, like I've never had this support before. And then, you know, like we just like, and they have the same goals as me. Like, they want to compete at the high level, right? Like, they want to be the best. I want to be the best. And so we just, like, put our heads together, and it's like we're unstoppable now.
That's a beautiful thing because, you know, when I want something and you want the same thing, normally what do people do? When I'm not at your level, but we want the same thing, I'm going to undercut you.
Right.
I don't understand why people do that. Like, I don't understand. I love competition. Mm-hmm. Because it allows me to look within myself and push myself, right? People always ask me, why do you help people start podcasts when you have a podcast? Why wouldn't I? What if they do something that I like and I never thought of, right? I'm going to give them advice, and I hope, and if they don't, they don't, but they give me the same advice back or different advice that I didn't see.
For sure. And it helps you. Like,
it pushes you.
Yes. And it makes like, and it's cool, like, somebody that loves the same thing as you, like, then you, like, have that in common. And it's just, like, you have support, you have somebody, and then, yeah, it's always a little competition. Like, you're always going against each other, but it's good. It's healthy.
That's the whole point. Yeah. And then you're always pushing. Then after, you're like, you know, and I know Britt is this type of person. Like, hey, like, I got you in this because, you know, you extended your arm. You should have kept it in more, or you turned when you shouldn't have. You didn't put your hip down, and you're like, oh, cool. So next time you're not fucking getting me,
right?
And then she finds a new way,
right?
Typical, but it allows you to continuously push the needle forward in anything. And I say that with business, like the people at the top aren't competing; they're all networking, and then everyone down here is forced to compete, and then they try to take shortcuts or undercut, and it's like you see people's true value or true intentions when it gets gritty. But the people at the top aren't doing that. Yep. Everyone's networking. Everyone's working with each other.
Yep. And that's kind of like one of the, like, just like a quick shout out. Like, that's something I love about Stout in the Mat Factory. Like, huge shout out to the Mat Factory as well, because they're a huge home to me too. And it's like, right, like, there's times where we compete at Stout and the Mat Factory, compete against each other, but it's all love. Like, and, you know, like, they come train here, we go train there. And, like, some of those people, like Cheyenne and Carly and Liv, like, I train with them. And it's
dogs.
Carly, like, whooping my ass, right? Like, punching me in the face.
She still scares me. Like, I can get her to smile, but, like, until then, I'm like,
yeah.
Are we cool?
And it's just, like, it's that competition because, you know, like, it's Stout fights. We had people going against each other from Mat Factory and Stout, but it's like, it's still like we're the same. Like, and it's good competition, and we still help each other and we still support each other. And that's like what I love the most.
Then you're training there the next day.
Yeah. Yes. Literally.
Like, that's how it
literally
is. And then you're competing with the person you've been training with, and you're like, I know.
Yes.
A lot of things about you.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Right.
One cool thing you told me, I see this as cool. Now I'm trying to be sensitive, but like, you're blind in one eye. You knew I was coming with that.
I did.
She's like, I know it.
It's so weird.
Like, how? Is this something you were born
Yeah,
with?
yeah. It's just always been that way.
Can I
right?
ask which eye? Because
It's
like,
my left eye.
really?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
I'll try not to look at it. It's just, but like, and then you compete like something people would think you need all your senses.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you compete. I would have never been like something's off with like or like, you hate you. Oh, I'm about to get canceled so bad. The person watching this with one blind eye who's not as accepting as you is going to be like, this dude's done. He's not sensitive. What I'm trying to say is you've made the decision to like not let that hinder you.
Yeah.
So how do you have to manage that when you're training or competing, or is it just like don't even notice it anymore?
No, it's super normal to me because I feel like if something would have happened, like say I was like 10 years old and you know what I mean, in an accident, I went blind in one eye, I think it would have been wild, like
Makes
crazy
sense.
hard. But it's always been that way for me, and it's kind of funny. When I was a kid, I used to like I was embarrassed about it. I knew that something was off, and at the time we weren't going to like eye doctors. I was only doing like the checks at school, right? And like where you go to the nurse. yeah, right? And like my parents like never knew, like, we always were like normal, like had normal vision, so like didn't think anything of it. And the checks at school always came back perfect. Like, but I would go to them and they'd be like, cover one eye. I would cover my left eye first, read the line, memorize it, cover the other eye. And I knew,
purpose, yeah.
like I was like, oh, something's wrong with me. Like, and I was like, I'm not telling anybody. Like I want to be normal is what I thought as a kid. Like, I don't want anybody to know. And then I think like eventually my parents' like insurance changed or something, and they got this like I don't know. We started going to they sent me to some eye doctor, and he immediately was like, whoa, and I was like, no, don't, like don't tell anyone.
Like, did your parents know?
That's how they found out when we went to the eye doctor.
I'd be a little upset.
They
as
were
a parent,
so
I'd be
mad
like,
at me.
Hey, like I'm here to help you, and you're not letting me.
Yeah. So that was, but it was like they tried everything, right? Like to figure out like ways to correct it and things like that. And they think maybe as a baby it could have been like saved. But
you never said anything.
Yeah, long past that
You
shit
didn't say
now.
anything as a baby.
So,
That's the
but
problem.
no, it doesn't affect me at all. Like I know my peripheral is bad, right? But I only know it because people point it out. Like they'll be like, "Can you see me? Like, can you see?" Like I'm like, "Quit
Don't you
fucking
love
with
friends,
me."
huh?
Like, but yeah, it
Who
doesn't.
needs enemies when you have really good friends?
Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Now I think it's just kind of funny now. Like people will be like standing on that side of me, and they'll be like, "Oh, sorry." Like,
Let me get to your good side.
yeah,
Yeah, that was when you said that, I was like, fucking kudos to her. Because best believe I'd use that as an excuse. Can't do jiu-jitsu because I'm blind in one eye.
that's why you got me.
Yeah, that's why you got me. It's like, bro, I had you in a triangle. You were looking at me, begging me to stop.
I'm gonna start using that.
I was blind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna start using
hey,
that.
blind. Is it total blindness, or can you see light? Like,
It's I can see light. I like to know when it's light and dark out. It's like a
can you see this? Don't you love it?
yeah. They'll be like, close your right eye, and I'm like,
No.
no, fucker. Like I know you're gonna
Close
do
both of
something.
your eyes.
Like,
How about that?
They'll be like putting their middle finger up. I'm like, really good one.
Does the physical pressure of jiu-jitsu, like what does jiu-jitsu do for you? I know for me, it's a, and I always tell people this, especially if you're going through stuff at home or at work, like go train something because it allows you to, you talked about that escape, right? Like what has jiu-jitsu done for you in the 2.5, 3 years you've been doing it?
I feel like it's just like pulled everything out of me. Like it's helped me be the best person that I can be. Like on the mats during competition, right? Like when you're digging really deep and you really have to feel that in your soul. And then outside too, in life, it's like it's helped me to come out, like to do this. Like I never would have thought, like I would never like be talking about myself on a podcast. Like who would have thought? And just like to be more social, right? Now I don't need the alcohol to be social now and like have friends and be silly and like be who I am. And it's really like pulled all that out of me. And it's it's helped me really like realize a lot in life too, and like learn about people, and just really eye-opening. And then
See what you did there.
I didn't mean to do that.
See what you're funny. She's a funny gal.
Yeah, but for sure, it's just like, and it's brought out the best in me, and it's like, it's helped me overcome like all the adversity, and I feel like nothing can stand in my way anymore. And it's like, I know what I want, I know what my goals are, and I'm gonna do it.
Well, you're also a teacher, right? So it's so cool. Like I started thinking back, how many of my teachers trained something I had no idea about, right? Because like now I feel everyone who trains jiu-jitsu, they talk about jiu-jitsu. Back then it was never like that. How does that help you approach teaching? Because I feel like being a teacher, you need a special level of patience.
For sure.
That
You
jiu-jitsu can give you, right? Because when someone's trying to make you do something you don't want them to do because it's going to hurt or you're going to take a nap, you build a lot of patience. So how does that translate to teaching and your approach to teaching?
Yeah, I think, I was teaching before I started jiu-jitsu, but I think it's helped me become a better teacher, because it's definitely helped me gain some more patience with all the kids. And it's helped me to like understand where everyone is coming from, because in jiu-jitsu you meet so many different people, and that is like relating to my students too, right? Like, as a teacher, you're like, some of these kids, man, like you just have like,
I was one of those kids.
Right. And it's just now, like, I don't really ever think about it like that. And before I worked a different job. I worked at a behavioral school. So like, to like most people, all of those kids were some of those kids. But it's like you have a lot more respect now, because you understand where they're coming from, and you see the kids like for who they are. And it's the same, like I've covered like kids classes at Stout, and I'm like, man, I love these kids. Like they're so cool. Like this is just the best. And you have all the patience in the world. And it's just eye-opening. You see like people come from so many different places, and then I take that to work with me too, like knowing like these kids come from so many different places, and like I'm here for it. Like I want to know about those places. I want to know, I want to relate with you. Like what have you gone through, and why are you here? And it's not all about the schoolwork and the academics. It's about the kids and helping them grow.
I love watching kids compete. Like watch them, like it just click. Like we had an event, a part of Seminar Stack. We do a jiu-jitsu tournament all day, and that kids, we have a heavy kids bracket. And I'll sit there and I'll forget about the event. Like I have vendors, we have an expo going, we have a cash bracket for LEOs, we have all this, and I'm watching the kids compete because they're getting after it.
Yes.
And the little girls making the little boys cry.
Yep.
I like want to fist bump them all. Like the little girl's so confused. Like, why is this kid crying? I just slammed him on his face and ripped his arm out of his socket. Like, why is he crying? Mm-hmm. And then to watch kids be able to take something and understand it and then apply it in a high stress situation. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like this kid's going to be something. Right. Because I wish I started jiu-jitsu as a kid.
I know.
I didn't have that luxury. I don't even know what jiu-jitsu was.
Nope.
But to see that is so cool. And that you get to be a part of that as well. That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool too. I think going back to the kids, how some of the kids, like you really notice how they carry themselves and how jiu-jitsu helps them. And they're like, some of those kids, like, I'm like, how old are you? They'll be like freaking like 8 years old, and I think they're like 15. Like they act like it's helped them mature, and like they have like adult conversations with me, and they're like these little kids. And I'm like, because they're around in the gym and the environment, and I just think that like the environment is so special, and it helps the kids to like grow and develop too. And they just act like they're so mature. Like I train with a couple of the kids at Stout that are like so young. Like our Honor, Randy and Sam's daughter, and like she's like 13, and she like I'm like she's an adult, like she's the same age as me, like, and she's a dog. She's definitely better than me for sure. But I'm just bigger.
We won't
than
tell her
her.
that. We won't tell her that. These kids start getting confidence in the gym.
Yeah. But it's like she acts like she's so mature, and like I have like adult conversations with her, and I'm like, wow, because she's grown up like in that environment and being surrounded by those people. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And then you get to be around kids with school, and you get to see them develop in a whole different way, right?
For sure.
Maybe you can start plugging jiu-jitsu and start getting the stout kids, the kids comp team up. One question, when you take away, usually I've spoken to a lot of people, especially on this platform and outside of it, when you take away a substance, there's a void. How did you fill that void early on without having? Were you lifting at that time? Because you weren't doing jiu-jitsu at that time. So how were you able to fill that void? Or did you even feel a void, I guess, is the more appropriate question.
Mm-hmm. I definitely, I was lifting at that point and just like working out hard all the time. That was kind of like what I used to fill the void. And it was not the same, for sure. Like, what I feel now is totally different than what I felt then, like gaining from lifting or whatever it was. Even playing sports, like, I always say now, like, I I thought I loved softball, right? Like, I was all in, like, 100%. I wasn't. Like, this is what I'm, like, this is 10 times. Like, I'm way more in on this than I ever was on softball. So, like, I wish I would have done this. It's just definitely like, I was just going through the motions, I feel like. Like I'd spend like 4 or 5 hours at the gym, like a lifting gym, doing who knows what, dumb stuff, stretching, lifting, running, like just like trying to fill that time. But like now, I spend all those hours at the gym training, and you don't even know it. Like it's not trying to fill time. Like it's so different, and it's like getting better, and I'm having fun. That's like, I think the most important. Like I show up every night, like smiling, having fun. Like I'm never like, I don't want to be here tonight. And I've always felt that at other places, like sports, like, oh, I don't want to practice tonight, or, oh, I don't want to lift today. But this, it's like, I always want to be there. And it's the first thing I think about when I wake up every morning.
Not surprised. What made you choose education?
Since I was young, it was like I think I always, my mom says I used to like play teacher like when I was a kid. So there was like always that. But when I went away to college, I think like at first I was undecided. Like I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I kind of like went into the psych field, and just because it was interesting to me, and I was doing that. I was working as a family crisis counselor, it was a wild job, crazy things. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I worked with families, a lot of kids and stuff. And I always just enjoyed being around the kids. Like, and I'd be like places, and kids would always come up to me. And I think after my undergrad, I was working in the psych field, and then I kind of started to find myself as a person. And I was like, man, like these young kids are also going through stuff. Like I can relate to them. And that kind of just like led me into it. And I was like, oh, I want to get my teaching degree. And I just kind of like, I love it. Like, and you make a difference, and you develop relationships with kids and your students, and you just have like positive impacts on kids, and it's just great. And you can be that person for like some of these kids have nobody, and you can be that person for them, which is cool.
And you chose special education, which is very niche field.
Mm-hmm.
What was the motivation behind that?
At first, I think so. I do have my degree in regular and special ed, but when I was doing like regular ed, just like working, not like those, right? Like all kids are great. Like I love being around all kids, but it wasn't the same. I was a building sub at North Allegheny, and great school district, right? It's like one of the best around. And the kids just like, right, like they were cool and whatever. And I was always in the same classroom I was in for this lady, like consistently, and got to know those kids. But they like, they have everything, and they they were like always like, it was middle school. They were super sassy, like, and they just like have everything. And a lot of them were super entitled. And then I would go work in like the autistic support classroom. And I was like, wow, like, and those kids, they really appreciated you and you were really making a difference. And I feel like that's what it is to me, is how you can make a difference. And some of those kids, like the kids that are labeled special education, they just go through so much. Like people put like titles on them, and, you know, those are the kids who are constantly getting bullied and things like that. And it's just, my main goal is to help the kids and to allow these kids to achieve the things that they can, because some people don't put that time into them. The special education kids, like they push them to the sides and they don't want to help them. And those kids get like the shit end of things. And
it requires extra work, extra effort.
Yes. And it's just like, to me, it's not extra effort. Like it's rewarding, it's fun, it's helpful. And those kids appreciate you more than like anybody else ever will.
And do you think going through what you went through, it gives you a special way to approach these kids rather than someone who hasn't gone through your same experiences?
For sure. And that's definitely helpful, right? And I get it. Like other people, it's not for everybody. It's definitely not, right? Like I have friends that are teachers in general education who are like, I could never do it. It's not for them, and they shouldn't do it, right? Because you probably wouldn't be giving the best assistance at that point. Yeah, and I just definitely, like, I think I have just a different way of looking at it and a different way of building rapport with those kids. And, you know, a lot of kids that are like nonverbal and things like that too. Like some people, like some people don't know what to do. And like, to me, that's like, you find a way to communicate with them and you find a way to help them. And that's what it's all about.
And teaching takes a lot. Jiu Jitsu takes a lot. Lifting takes a lot. I don't even know if this is an appropriate question, but what do you do in your free time? You don't watch TV or movies.
No.
That was the first thing. When I asked someone, like, hey, tell me a little bit about yourself, when they mention that, that's because that's dead serious. They do not watch TV or movies. So what do you do in your free time?
Yeah, I feel like I don't have a lot of free time. It's funny.
I go to jiu-jitsu.
Right, literally. And they're all, like Mike Wilkins and all them and Brittany, they're always like, you watch this show, like they're always like making fun of me about. I'm like, no, I don't even know what that is. Like you could probably
Stranger
name.
Things?
I know what that is, but I've never seen it. Like you could name the most famous, and I'd be like, huh? Like, no, I've never seen that. Like people go crazy over it. They're like, you have to watch it. But I grew up. My parents are older, so they're always like kicking us outside, right? Like you didn't grow up in the house. You didn't do stuff like that in the house, and we weren't like allowed, like we didn't watch much TV or movies or anything like that. So I just grew up like that, and I just never got into it. And I just like
no iPads, nothing.
No, God, no.
How did you eat without an iPad there?
Yeah, like it just like never was something I got into. And now my free time, yeah, I don't know. I train, I work out. Like I don't do much else. Like Mike always says, you shouldn't have any other hobbies. This is your hobby. He's joking, but
is he?
It is.
Is he?
He's like, you can't do anything else.
On this show, we talk a lot about real life. You know, real life, real people, real stories, real fucking life, right? And it's catchy, it's cool, but like, I connect with that because a lot of the stuff I see, or a lot of the way people present themselves, it's always like an elevated version of themselves instead of just being themselves. Because one thing I want, the goal of this podcast, the whole reason I'm doing this is to be a resource for people, right? When I grew up, one of the things I attribute to my maturity and a lot of things that I've gotten is in good relationships with people and talking to them, hearing their stories and applying, like, you know, oh man, I don't do, you know, at the time I don't do jiu-jitsu. I'm not a pro fighter, but how can I apply that mindset into what I'm doing with the podcast, or what I'm doing with real estate, or what I'm doing with my family, or what I'm doing, whatever it may be. So that being said, real life, what has been the biggest lesson that your students have taught you about resilience or about yourself?
Definitely they've taught me a lot for sure. And one of the biggest is that I can be my own person and I can be independent and I don't have to follow the crowd. And especially being in the special education field, you know, that has been huge, right? Because those kids are all on the outside. And like I used to see when I was in school, those kids sit at a different table. They're in different classrooms and they're not in the crowd. And that is like who I am, honestly. Like I do I don't follow the crowd, right? Like I don't always like go out. Like I don't always go out with everyone. I don't do the same things that people do. And it took me a while to realize that because I was in the crowd for a long time. And that was like the worst part of my life. And really they've just taught me that I can be who I am and I can be independent and I can still be great and I don't have to be in the crowd. I will have people that love me and people that support me for who I am.
No, that's good. Yeah, I was a part of a lot of crowds, but I the older I got, I realized I was trying. I was doing things, saying things, acting certain ways. And then I would see the crowd. I'm like, I don't really fit in here. Mm-hmm. You know, and then I'd see this other crowd. I'm like, I don't fit in there either. I don't fit in here either. But I was cool with all of them. Right. But like, I was like, I'm not a part of this. Like, what am I doing? Mm-hmm. So I think the sooner people can realize, like, hey, just be yourself, put your best foot forward, and you're going to attract like-minded individuals. Mm-hmm. And then that will be your crowd. Right. The crowd that goes against the grain usually. But
right. And it's not about and I think this is what they've helped teach me too, right? Like, it's like people are going to say stuff about you for sure. People are going to talk shit on you 100%. And they go through it all the time, right? Like they get bullied. It's awful, the things people say, right? The things that are on the internet. But like none of that matters. Who cares? And that's like something that they've taught me, right? Like you don't have to care about what other people think because it's your life and it doesn't matter what other people think. It
doesn't. I had Kyle O'Hare on here. Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
It's hard not to know who he is. He's blown up on social media.
For sure.
Well, yeah, he kind of marches to the beat of his own drum and like, and he's a kid who's truly embodied the just be yourself, you know, and he's hated for it or he's loved for it.
Yep. But I respect that.
Yeah, I do too. Like the kid, he's a young kid, and I learned a lot about having a conversation with him. I'm like, dude, just be yourself. Yes. He dances in the cage.
Crazy.
He's like, I used to dance. I think it's fun, and it helps me. Yeah, be calm. I'm like, cool. Usually people tell you breathe.
Right. I'd be like in there shaking.
Yeah. Like, so that's huge. Now we're gonna go into, as we wind down the show, what I like to think is the fun part of the show, right?
All right.
Like not no thinking, just first things. The relentless rapid round.
This is gonna be good.
These questions could be anything.
All right. I'm a little nervous.
I'm gonna let you cook a little bit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna speed it up. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
You don't like to lie, just give the truth.
All right.
All right.
Let's do it.
Favorite jiu-jitsu submission: choke or joint lock?
Choke.
What is one situation that tests your patience the most as a teacher?
When a kid is calling me out.
Like, okay,
I'm like, you can't do that. I'm supposed to do that to you.
If you couldn't lift or do BJJ tomorrow, what would your addictive personality latch onto next?
Oh my God.
Yeah, got her.
I don't know. I honestly.
The next thing?
But like you're saying lift or do, like I'd probably like try to like start running or doing, like it would be something active. For
running,
sure.
Yeah. Keep doing jiu-jitsu. If you could magically restore vision in your bad eye, would you? Or is it a part of who you are?
It's a part of who I am.
That's deep. You don't watch TV. What is the last book you read or podcast you listened to?
Yours.
I'm honored. It's like, that's the only one. Okay, thank you.
That and listen to your coaches. Shout out.
That's a good one. And I gave them a plug at the style fight. Anytime someone says listen to your coach, I think the name is genius, by the way. Right? Because very applicable. right?
It is.
And you should listen to your coaches, especially when they have the outside view and you're in there very tunnel vision, you know, and then you'll see like another gym or something out there, like, listen to your coaches, a fighter's doing a post fight, listen to your coaches. And I'm like,
it's great.
Mike and Will.
Yeah, it's great.
One sentence to the person listening who is using a substance to hide from their own trauma.
You don't have to do it. There's still time.
You survived the silence. You're buying the house. What does greatness mean to Erica Amoroso?
Oh my God. How are you supposed to answer that fast?
You know, that's the whole point of these questions. They make it. I start light.
Yeah.
You know, to get you to think.
Yeah.
What does greatness mean to you?
I think it's really just making it through life, achieving goals, like setting goals and achieving them, being happy. I mean, like, you know, I've done so much of this on my own, which is like, it's just sick. Like to be able to say, hopefully, I'm going to jinx it, but to be able to say, like, I bought a house on my own, like, as
you will
a
buy a house.
27-year-old girl, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's sick. Like, that's awesome. Like, I did it by myself. And, you know, that's greatness is just like achieving all the things that I've dreamed of. And they're all like slowly starting to come true.
That's awesome. You're blind in one eye. You carried childhood trauma until you were 25, yet you're sober, fighting, and buying a home. To the listener making excuses for why they are too broken, air quotes, to start, what do you say?
Too broken doesn't exist.
For the person listening who is currently holding on to a secret or trauma like you did, what is the first step to putting the bag of rocks down?
Find the right people, and that's your way out. Surround yourself with the right people and the right things.
And probably the easiest question you'll ever get, where can people follow you online if they want to follow your journey?
Oh, cool. Follow me on Instagram. That's the only social media I really use, honestly, but I love Instagram. Yeah, definitely.
What's your Insta for the people who...
At Erica Nicole 8.
Okay, and you have a match coming up, right? The Arena Grappling Winter Series,
yeah.
Against Addison Lake. Do you know who she is? Do you know her style? I don't know the situation. Tell us a little bit about what to expect for that.
I don't know her, and I don't really know much about her. I honestly don't even know what gym she trains at. I still have a few weeks, but I'm just excited for it. I love competing, and I compete like any opportunity that I get. And this is like, I don't know, a cool super fight, I guess. I honestly don't know a whole lot about arena grappling either, but it looks sick. It looks cool. It's in a cage. My first time in a cage. That'll be cool.
Did Mike fill you in on that? It's a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, he said start. Him and Brittany just tell me that you just lift these fucking bitches up and throw them against the cage.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going for.
Gotta get some wall work in. For
sure. I think it'll be sick though. Just excited for the opportunity to get better. I have quite a few like competitions lined up coming up, and it's just fun, like going out there, getting better. You know, I'm gonna win. I plan on winning for sure. But either way, I get better and I learn no matter what happens.
And when is that? When if people want to watch it or maybe take the trip?
Yeah, it's January 23rd, I think.
I'll post it.
I think it's January 23rd. It's a Sunday. There is a live stream I think it said it was free, so you can watch it if you want. That would be cool. I love when people do that. It's a bit of a hike though. It's like
I know it's definitely a different state. Yeah, it's a different state. Well,
it's out past State College, but outside of that, I mean, you know, we'll definitely have a lot more local things coming up. But we're getting ready for West Coast trials, which will be sick. That's like the big thing.
How are you feeling about that? You've been obviously putting the work in. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it'll be my first time doing trials. Honestly, like I'm just gonna go out there and like ball out. Like it's all in. You know, I don't have anything to lose. I'm still so new that like competing at such a high end tournament like that, it's for experience. Like I'm just gonna go out there and win a match, and like it's not worth getting super nervous about because I'm gonna have many years to compete at trials, and honestly, I'm excited.
A lot of years.
Yeah.
And that's cool. You're doing it early on. You're going to see the process. You're going to see what it takes, and then you're going to be able to apply a lot of lessons
For sure.
from that. You're 2.5 years in already going for the
Let's do it.
Super Bowl of Jiu Jitsu.
I didn't plan on it. We went to trials. We went to East Coast trials, and I did the open. That was my first ADCC, and I like the role set was cool. It was fun. And I was like, oh, I want to do more ADCC. And Mike's like, yep, you're doing trials. And I was like, oh, guess I'm doing trials.
Why wouldn't I? Well, Eric, I appreciate you for coming on here, sharing your story, getting vulnerable with us. This is the one with Erica Amoroso, and we are out. Later. And that was Erica Amoroso. This conversation is the reality check we all needed to start 2026. Erica proves that intensity isn't a bad thing. It just needs a target. She took a trauma that could have destroyed her, and she built armor out of it. She didn't let the silence kill her. She didn't let being blind in one eye stop her from competing. She didn't let her past stop her from buying her own future. So if you're sitting there feeling broken, maybe you don't need to be fixed. Maybe you just need to start training. Go follow Erica, support real people doing real work. And if this story resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with one friend who keeps making excuses. Follow the Relentless Project on Instagram, X, and YouTube at RelentlessPRJCT. Leave a 5-star review so we can keep bringing you guests who share their story. We don't settle. We don't quit. We don't wait for permission. I'm Ish. This is the Relentless Project, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.